Five, four, three, two, one.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, April 9th, 2021. I'm your host, Aaron Talor. Well, before Monday, the qualifications to get a COVID-19 vaccine in Alabama previously excluded a majority of the student population. Now, college-age students can get the shot. Troy University is encouraging students to consider vaccination in hopes of returning back to normal. Brady Talbert has more on the start of student vaccination on campus.
I'm announcing that every Alabamian 16 years of age and older will be able to receive the vaccine starting Monday, April 5th.
Troy University students now qualify for the COVID-19 vaccine in the state of Alabama. Students can get vaccinated on or off campus depending on their personal preference.
And trying to get as many people vaccinated as we can.
Dean of Student Services Herbert Reeves says the school is encouraging all students to consider getting the shot.
There's folks that have said, after their second dose, they've had some symptoms, some fever, fatigue, things along those lines. But I think in the long run, it would benefit everyone, especially the students to get the vaccine, benefit them to be fully vaccinated.
Now that the vaccine is available for college-age students, some are considering making an appointment.
I think it's a good thing. My whole family is vaccinated, and I plan on getting vaccinated soon.
I'm considering doing it tomorrow, actually, before I go on a trip to Houston. So, I'm trying to have fun, so I need to make sure that, my safety is top priority before I leave.
And with hopes of the vaccine transitioning campus life back to normal.
I think a lot of people feel like they're losing a little bit of the college experience.
The university says students can anticipate more fun in 2021.
We're going to try to return to as much a sense of normalcy as we can. The mask mandate will be lifted, but we're certainly going to encourage people until we're well beyond this to continue to wear masks and help protect themselves and others.
The university reminds students that they're required to get their second dose as the same location as their first, since it takes 28 days between doses of the Moderna vaccine, which is given on campus. If a student wants to be vaccinated, they need to do so soon so that they can get their second dose before going home this summer. The only place in Troy to get vaccinated, as on Thursday, one of Governor Kay Ivey's mobile vaccination clinics was in action at the Troy Recreation Center. The Alabama National Guard helped facilitate the distribution to vaccine for residents who wanted to get the shot. Allison Polk has the story.
After a year of battling COVID-19, vaccinations are now being distributed all around the country. And in the state of Alabama, the National Guard is making their way around the state to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to be vaccinated. That's why on Thursday afternoon, the National Guard set up a vaccination site at the Troy City Recreational Center.
So we have partnered with the Alabama Department of Health to go around to 24 different counties. We started this on about 3 weeks ago. So we've been trying to vaccinate as many people as possible to kind of increase herd immunity and try to prevent as much illness as possible among the Alabama's population. We have a team that has gone out before this all started to survey different sites in the community, and they've worked with our community partners to determine which areas would be more accessible to more people and would serve our purposes best to help the most people.
And according to Braden, it is crucial to get the COVID-19 vaccine in order for life to go back to normal.
Vaccination is key to turning this whole thing around. So without vaccination, things will not likely get back to normal anytime soon. And we know with COVID, with a disease such as this, where there are so many unknowns, vaccination is key to prevent long-term possible complications and to prevent long-term illnesses.
The National Guard Vaccine Clinic will be back in Troy on April 29th for the second vaccine dose. Allison Polk, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy Student Government Association is starting to make the transition to next year with the election of a new slate of officers this past week. However, the SGA still has a few more items on the agenda for this year. Diondra Larkin gives us a look at what's left on the Senate schedule.
Meeting after meeting after meetings. As the school year at Troy University comes to an end, this did not stop the SGA from putting forth efforts for some new resolutions to bring forth to the administration.
We adopted Resolution 2021-7, which it allows for trucks and large SUVs to back into parking spots rather than pull in forwards. We had a few students come to us about some concerns they had. Particularly students that drive large trucks said it's much easier with modern technology such as the backup camera.
With the academic school year coming to a close, President and Vice President say they are looking forward to what next year will hold for the Senate and also for the newly elected officers.
Many of them, the majority of them, have served in the Student Senate this past year, and so I've had a great pleasure working with them on several bills, working on several projects. We really have, our future is in good hands within the Student Government Association.
I'm really excited for the new senators. I always think it's really great when we get to have a new election for the following year and just see the new and old faces, the old faces that are returning that still want to continue serving in SGA, and the new ones that want to like start something new and get involved and just serve Troy University in such a great capacity. So I'm really excited for them and excited to see who all the new faces are.
Diondra, Larkin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
One branch of the Student Government Association is Freshman Forum, whose focus is on the betterment of the freshman class. However, as the school year is winding down, new leaders have been selected to lead the forum, and as Claudia Peppenhorst explains, even though they did not get the typical freshman experience because of COVID, they're working on providing one for the next class.
Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the current freshman class was not able to experience the normal events or activities. No freshman run or other highly anticipated activities. Freshman Forum, the group of delegates working together to improve the freshman experience, felt this impact firsthand while trying to improve their classmates' time at Troy without really knowing what a true freshman year is like.
One thing about Freshman Forum this year is we were in a pandemic, and we had to evolve and adapt to the new changes. And so I really don't see it as a hindrance. I feel like we were able to do well this year, and with things changing in the fall, I feel like we're going to be able to do the same thing and just grow with our delegates and try to work around it.
The newly appointed Freshman Forum co-directors say they are excited for the upcoming year, but despite this year's challenges, the delegates were still able to experience what Freshman Forum is all about.
So this year it wasn't felt as a hindrance at all. Number one, because we didn't know what it was like before, but number two, I know that we all had a great time. I think the events are great, but really what Freshman Forum is about is getting to know your fellow delegates, getting to do stuff in the meetings. Like I said, events are great, but really the good stuff is in getting to know each other, which I know will still be there next year.
And with an unusual year serving as delegates, the new co-directors are planning on taking their experience to improve the incoming Freshman Forum class time even more.
We've kind of learned how to deal without those events and how to still make an amazing time, and this year's directors have done a great job with that. So being able to have that opportunity to do more events, knowing how to have a good time without them, I think it'll be just even easier to have those events to make sure the delegates have a good experience next year.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll learn about a new group designed to help students with their public speaking skills. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Speaking in front of a group is not easy for some people. In fact, it can be terrifying for many. Well, there's a new organization on campus that's designed to help improve students' public speaking skills. Simon Schuessler gives us a look.
This year marks the start of a new extracurricular organization, Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a club focused on improving public speaking skills and improving confidence. Vice President of Public Relations Maxwell describes the objectives of the organization.
Toastmasters is an organization that helps build communication skills and confidence when you speak in front of people. The number one fear for most individuals is public speaking, so Toastmasters helps aid that fear in a safe environment so you can kind of cripple that or get rid of that fear by able to speak in front of crowds on a week-to-week basis, be able to grow your skills and confidence, and also helps move over in your resume when you're doing things for your professional side outside of college.
While this is the first year the organization has been at Troy University, there have been many ongoing Toastmasters clubs at other colleges. In fact, there are over 364,000 members and more than 16,200 clubs worldwide. Faculty advisor for the Troy chapter, Patrick George, speaks on how his experience being a Toastmaster in college affected his life.
I joined Toastmasters probably 5-6 years ago on another college campus here in Alabama. I thought at the time it was just for people who weren't good at speaking at all, and therefore they needed that type of outlet. But I was mistaken. I found that no matter what level of speaking that you have or the ability you have, Toastmasters can offer you an opportunity to improve. So if you are a 1 to 10, if you are a 5-level speaker, you can get to a 7 or 8, maybe even a 10. If you're a 10, that allows you to expand and help others be better speakers, and also helps you challenge yourself as a presenter.
Meetings are held Thursdays at 6 p.m. in John Robert Lewis Hall, room 154. The club is 2 members away as of now from getting their charter, which would open up more opportunities.
Charter would mean that we would be able to do competitions where we would compete with other Toastmasters organizations around the state and around the region. Our region encompasses the Panhandle of Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and I believe the tip of Louisiana, I think. That's our region. And also just within our state, we get a chance to compete and also get to learn from other Toastmaster organizations.
For more information on the club, you can check out at Toastmasters Troy on Instagram or find them on Facebook at Troy University Toastmasters Club. Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The opportunities to hang out with friends and just have fun have been limited this year due to COVID-19. However, the University Activities Council gave students the chance to hang out virtually, but in the same room. Diondra Larkin explains.
Standing in the Hall of Game, 2K21 to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, also with the gaming systems ranging from PlayStation to Nintendo Switch. The University Activities Council Virtual Reality Game Night was a gaming success.
We have this event just so students can have a normalcy here on campus with COVID going on and with the CDC restrictions. So we just have this to make the students feel like things are going back to normal. With COVID, we have a few restrictions with the number of students to come out. So with tonight's event, we didn't expect a big turnout, but the turnout wasn't bad either. So we had a great amount of students to come out and a lot of participation.
Students not only got the opportunity to show off their gaming skills, but also got the chance to be with friends.
I would say this semester really has been a kind of a challenging time to have events, like so much school stuff has been going on. But USC has really done a great job of trying to make students feel like Troy is at home and trying to bring back kind of like the normalcy that we had before COVID hit. But this event really is just trying to bring certain students out, try to get the student body to come out and have some fun playing video games. But I would say this event has been very fun playing 2K with some friends.
The UAC wanting to bring back normalcy to Troy University students with this virtual reality game night without having the VR headsets still had a big gaming time.
All of our events, we revamped them, reimagined them when it comes to COVID. So this one still has our COVID protocols in place. We took away the actual virtual goggles because of the sanitation protocols. Considering the space that we have this event held in, we think that it was just the right amount of students that came out. We have enough for them to be able to compete against each other and not have a long line. But as far as getting back to something normal, definitely stay tuned for our fall events for next year.
Stay tuned and game on. Diondra Larkin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Have you ever wondered if it's possible to be able to read someone's mind? Well, this week, the University Activities Council welcomed a mentalist to campus to test people's beliefs and psychic abilities. Taylor Waymon has the story.
On Wednesday night, the University Activities Council held an event designed to bring illusion and skepticism to campus. A mentalist known simply as Banachek entertained the audience with different illusions based on psychology, mentality, and telepathy. And although it may have looked like he had magical powers, Banachek's ultimate goal is to prove it's all fake.
So for me, it's great when students come in skeptical, and when I can tell them I'm not a psychic, that I'm taking my 5 known senses to create the illusion of a 6th sense. I'm using verbal communication, nonverbal communication, psychology, perception, manipulation, and a lot of magic to deceive them. When I can tell them that and they go, wait, but that has to be real, that is sort of like the greatest feeling in that moment. But I feel a responsibility to remind them this is not real. It is a trick. It's not a good trick if it doesn't look real.
Banachek says that he enjoys being able to play with people's notions about psychic abilities, especially their reactions to what he does.
College students are the best crowds because they have no preconceived notion. They usually come in very, very skeptical. And then when they don't see when they do see something that they can't explain, and they don't see something that they can explain, they really react. I have students that get up and run out of the room and peek from the very back. And once that starts happening, it gets everybody else on board.
As a matter of fact, Banachek says the skepticism of the students is a good thing because he wants to prove that psychics don't really exist.
I really like it when students come in a little bit skeptical. I want them to be skeptical because I'm a skeptical person. I'm a critical thinker. In fact, I run a $1 million foundation where I have $1 million for anybody that can do anything psychic under proper scientific control. I've not found a real psychic yet.
Talor, Waymon, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, the Trojan softball team makes a historic start to their season. We'll see how right after this, so stay tuned.
If you store your guns properly.
So not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories. Or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
The Trojan softball team pulled off another Sun Belt sweep over the weekend after a pair of dominating performances in a doubleheader on Saturday. Diondra Larkin has the highlights.
There's no place like home base. Walking off yet another weekend series against Georgia Southern, ending the series 9-0, the Trojans, currently being undefeated in conference play, will now gear up to play against their rival, South Alabama.
It was just a really good, solid doubleheader, 2 wins. I thought we pitched really well. Bree Bailey threw a heck of a game that first game with a shutout, and then LeAnna and Libby combined for another one in the second game. So anytime you're putting up a lot of zeros on the mound, it's kind of gives your offense a lot of confidence to go out there and just have really good at-bats, which they did. I think we had quality at-bats from pitch number 1 all the way down to pitch number however many in the second game. So just really proud of them. I think we've been really mature and consistent all year. So I don't doubt we're going to stay that way for the rest of the year.
Striking out Georgia Southern's offense and coming off her 50th career win with the team, LeAnna Johnson shares her gratitude for the program and for her Trojan teammates.
It just feels really good. We just came out here, played 2 games, went 1-0. It feels good to have 50 wins. I know I couldn't do it by myself. Have a really good defense behind me, and then we just work so hard as a pitching staff. Coach Holly does a good job with us, but it just feels really good to sweep again. It's an exciting feeling knowing that we, have them coming up. We're just going to take a little bit of time off, then come back Monday and get back to work and just prepare for them.
Scoring the in-game walk-off and a home run, freshman Jade says the Trojans' hard work and taking it pitch by pitch is what makes this win all the more confident for the next games.
As a team, we just did good. Our pitchers threw amazing. We had good defense behind them, and then we just had quality at-bats, and we moved pitch to pitch. And sometimes the pitch didn't go our way, but we got in their next at-bat and just kept slugging along. And I think as a team, we just did really good defensively and offensively. New game, new series, and we're just going to keep going pitch by pitch.
After this series, the Trojans are now standing number 2 in the conference with an overall of 25-6.
The Trojan softball team continued their winning ways and made a little history, all while defeating its top rival on Wednesday night. Once again, here's Diondra Larkin.
Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. South Alabama is out. Striking out South Alabama's offense, the Trojans won 3-0.
We just came out here with a midweek, ready to play our game. We prepared good for the first of the week and just came out here to play Troy softball and got a dub.
Having a midweek contest can seem stressful for teams. However, head coach Beth Mullins says she tells her team to take every series pitch by pitch and game by game.
Yeah, I'm just honestly just really proud of this group. I think we pitched well, played great defense, and had some timely hits and just overall just a lot of quality at bats back to back to back. So I thought we did a good job of preparing this week. They showed up every single day, Monday and Tuesday, and just were ready to get to work. And they just keep living by the motto of just trying to go 1-0. And I think we did a great job of that. So, South Alabama is a really quality team. And I think for LeAnna to go out there and just play, pitch her game, I was just really proud of her. And we played really good defense and had some really good hitting behind her.
The reigning Sunbelt Pitcher of the Week, LeAnna Johnson, continued her success in the circle, striking out 11 batters in the 2-hit shutout. Johnson says the honors are great, but she just wants to keep winning.
It feels good to have a good record and to get those accolades and stuff from the Sun Belt. The outside stuff is fun, but we just really don't worry about it, and we just do our thing, practice, and get better, and just go out there and go 1-0.
This was Troy's 10th straight Sun Belt win, the best conference start in program history. Diondra Larkin, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
It's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn how Troy University's Alumni Association is raising money for scholarships all this month. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Troy University's Alumni Association is looking to add to the scholarships it offers with an April Scholarship Blitz. We'll learn more in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Faith Bird, here to talk a little bit about a scholarship blitz with the Alumni Association. Faith, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me, Aaron.
And the scholarship blitz, I'm not even sure what this is we're talking about. We're talking about Alumni Association, but what does Alumni Association have to do with scholarships, and why is it important to focus on the scholarships?
Well, we personally, the Alumni Association, give 7 scholarships a year, and they are half tuition. And those students keep those for 4 years if they maintain their grades. So that's actually 28 scholarships a year that we are giving out currently. And we want to add to that, so that we can give more. We have just endowed our 8th scholarship, so we'll be giving that one out for the fall. And so it's just very important in the times that we're living in now with the COVID that we support scholarships, because the students need them now more than ever.
And that's one of the things that Alumni Association, we've had you on here. We talked about a lot of the different things that the Alumni Association does.
Right.
We're talking tailgates, we're talking functions, we're talking about just helping out the university, but scholarships may not be one of those things that come to the forefront, even though, as you've mentioned, there's a lot of money going to students, and it almost seems like a natural thing to have alumni give back to the school and give back to the students there.
Absolutely. You know, so many of our chapters, and we have 65 now, 65 alumni chapters, and so many of those give a lot of money to scholarships, and 10 of those are endowing their own scholarships, so they don't have to work so hard at raising money. And again, during COVID, it's been extremely hard to raise money. So this will help our chapters with their local scholarships, as well as help our National Alumni Association.
And there's a number of different ways that someone could take part in this. For a simple matter of just a donation, but there's other ways that they maybe just give a little bit more at different times.
Right.
So tell us some of the ways someone could help out.
So this whole thing we're doing with the Scholarship Blitz will lead right into our membership in May, and we're calling it Trojans Together. Trojans give together. Trojans cheer together. You know, Trojans support each other. So we want them to be able to be easy to give back. So we're encouraging, say, if your membership dues are currently due now, go ahead and pay your dues and add $10 to that check, or $15 or $50 or $2,000, whatever's in your heart to give back to the deserving students.
And of course, that's one of those just a little bit more. It's like rounding up the bill for someone to donate to their. And obviously, then as well, in addition to that, someone could just give. You know, if it's not dues, I mean, there's no way. But you can just give some money and put it towards something. And you can, and as with all the donations at the university, you can tell where you want these to go, right?
And to which scholarship. We're going to have a list of all the foundation scholarships and our chapter scholarships on our website. It's troy.edu/alumni, and they can go there and look it up and see what they want to give to, and then they can go online and give to most of those foundation scholarships. Now the scholarships for the chapters, they'll have to reach out to someone local, but we have a list of our chapter presidents on there as well, and we can always tell them and advise them who to talk to about the scholarships.
And speaking of chapters, that's one of the added emphasis probably at this time for donating money, is because in the past year COVID has had an effect on local chapters.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the National Alumni Association has had some effects, but probably not as much as the local chapters, and some of those give out scholarships
Absolutely.
as well.
Because, you know, all the chapters are run by volunteers, and the volunteers have had, they've had to either work harder or have kids at home, you know, from school, and just the situations that COVID has presented have not been good for our chapters. So this is a way for the Alumni Association to help these chapters raise their scholarship dollars as well.
And what are some of the examples, would you say, like some of the chapters, how they've been directly affected by COVID and their ability to raise money?
Well, for an example, our Elmore County Alumni Chapter, they meet monthly, or they did prior to COVID. They just have a small dinner meeting, and if you show up, you show up. They don't make reservations. They always have a Troy alum as a guest, a speaker, and it's just a small intimate group, but they pass the hat, and they give every month they give to their scholarship plan. Well, there's been no dinners, and there's been no passing the hat. And I could go on and on with examples for different chapters of how they've not been able to raise money like they have in the past.
And of course, once again, if anybody wants to take part of this, you're kind of putting an emphasis on the month of April, but you could do any time.
Anytime,
right?
anytime. There's a list. Anytime they want to go donate to scholarships, they could do it today if they want to. Just go on our website, and there's a drop-down menu, and it lists our scholarships. So,
and of course, with that, you know, anyone out there, this is one last little push always for you. If you haven't joined the Alumni Association, go ahead and join, and that can help out in many ways as well, right?
You are a lifetime member. You know, part of that money went to scholarships. So I appreciate that, and I encourage others to do the same.
All right. Well, Faith, thanks for joining us today, and here's hoping that folks round it up, give a little bit, do a little bit more, have scholarships to help students currently enrolled and future students here at Troy University. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday. Or you can visit us anytime on the new Troy TrojanVision News blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News anytime you want. Until next time, have a good week.